Hello there again. The second part of our press conference is an economic projections educational series, and while on the first part we discussed the implication or the connection between technical analysis and fundamental analysis, and the implication of looking at news out of the Euro-US dollar, out of Europe or out of the United States, in order to trade a currency pair like it is the Euro-US dollar, which is the most liquid currency pair of them all, by the way, and is the most popular one to be traded due to the fact that it has the lowest spread possible, and so on and so forth. I would like now to use this opportunity, or this second part of our project, to exactly identify the press conferences and the economic projections on these two currencies, but whatever we are going to discuss here is valid on other currency pairs as well. Well, out of Europe, the most important press conference is coming when the European Central Bank is having its meeting, the regular monthly meeting, to assess the monetary policy stance. The regular monthly meeting is always being followed by a press conference. During the press conference, the governor of the ECB, Mr. Draghi, in this case, is reading the statement that the governing council issued, and that statement includes economic projections as well. For example, last time they met, Mr. Draghi said that the governing council is expecting inflation to dip below zero. As a consequence, last week we had the CPI, or the Consumer Price Index, in Europe moving minus 0.1, so in negative territory. If you want negative inflation or deflation, depending very much on how you want to name it. And I would say these economic projections in Europe are being made by ECB's economic staff. They are projecting all these kind of things, including the value of the Euro-US dollar, the value of a currency, and so on and so forth. The more important one comes out of the United States in America, and I will go back on the economic calendar, trying to go back in time to identify when the last meeting has been taking place. And I would say that the last meeting was on a Thursday, something like one and a half weeks ago. And normally you will have FOMC. FOMC comes from Federal Open Market Committee. Let's go back in here and try to write here on the screen that FOMC stands for Federal Open Market Committee. In the United States. That's the FOMC. Now, that's a statement that is being released for market participants at a specific moment of time every 6 weeks, and it involves the interpretation that the Federal Reserve, the central bank in the United States, is having on the United States economy. Now, this FOMC statement, it is being followed every 2 or 3 FOMC meetings. It is being followed by a press conference that the chairman or the chairwoman in this case is holding, trying to explain the committee's, the members' committee's view, and why they kept rates on hold or not, why they are moving on rates or not, and so on and so forth. And this press conference also includes economic projections for the period to come, for the years to come, based on projections on the level of interest rate projected by each and every member of the Fed, each and every participant, and also economic projections regarding inflation, economic projections regarding unemployment rate, anything that can be related with the mandate that the central bank has. In the case of the Federal Reserve of the United States, the mandate is to keep inflation below or close to 2%, and of course to create jobs. So anything related in those areas will be forecasted for the period to come. In other words, you may have a bearish FOMC statement, and as a consequence the Euro-US dollar should move higher if that one is bearish, or you may have press conference following that following that statement and the press conference to be actually bullish for the dollar. If the dots in the economic projections are showing that the vast majority of Fed members are looking for an increase in higher rates in, I don't know, 1 year time or a couple of months time and so on, then all of a sudden the euro-US dollar will reverse course and will trade with a bearish tone. So make sure you identify on the economic calendar every time economic projections at press conferences are being released, as that is what matters the most for a currency pair. What's happening with the interest rate, because the interest rate differential is the key in trading FX market or in trading binary options based on FX instruments. Thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.